Everybody, welcome to Conversations with the Mod Squad Network. I'm your host this week, Kevin, because I am interviewing Felix.
What's up? What?
How's it-
Where are we? What is this, Kevin? What's conversations?
This is a brand new show here on the Mod Squad Network. This is where we interview a guest and try to figure out a little bit more about them with some unconventional questions.
Don't want to scare you, man. Don't want to scare you. You sure you want to do this?
I do. We're going to start off, though, with a little word association.
Okay.
First word I have for you, sir, is Western.
Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid. I like that one. I've always been a fan. Green. The color green.
Car.
Ooh, a car.
My car is green.
I get that. How about rain?
Sad.
All right. No, rain don't make me sad. It never has. I know a lot of people associate with rain being sad, but it never really has for me.
You know what? Me too, but it was just the first word that popped in my head. I love
got
rain,
you.
to be honest with you, but
Memory.
Mom.
That's a good one. Castle, kind of like Castle Grayskull.
Just because I couldn't think of nothing and you said it, Grayskull. Is that cheating?
Network.
Mod Squad.
I like it. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Rose.
Thorn.
Adventure.
Happy.
All right. Fear.
Suffering.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, fear can be a lot of different things, and that's definitely a good one. And the last one, cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. Fuddruckers, man. Got to be Fuddruckers.
Dude, I
I
haven't been
don't
to
know
a
if you guys have them
Fuddruckers
there,
in
but yeah.
I haven't been to a Fuddruckers in forever, man. All right, before we go any further, Felix, you're part of the Mod Squad Network. That's what we're here. That's what we're all about. I want to ask you a little bit of questions about Mod Squad Network. Just a couple. How did you get involved with the Mod Squad Network?
Cheater. No, Andrea. I wasn't expecting that question. That's all. Kevin, had an idea that preceded an old thing that we were doing for BAM, or were going to do for BAM, and Kevin ran with it, brought it up to me, and I'm like, dude, this, and this. Kind of like now, we always seem to have the same ideas. Really totally opposite or right on par with what we do, and that
I
was part
agree.
of it. We both were like bam bam bam, and I'm like, Kevin, this is what, and he's like, let's do it. Bam said, gave us the green light, and then 3 some odd years later, 500 videos later, we're here.
I like it, man. All right, so the last question I asked was cheeseburger, and I'm going to get into some questions now. And to follow up on cheeseburger, these are going to be a little bit weird, and I want to start off with a little bit of an icebreaker here. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
You don't think a hot dog is a sandwich?
Are these just like word association again, or can I like explain myself?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Then we would have to call all meats in bread sandwiches, or with bread sandwiches, and like those, like, the things you throw in the microwave with the kids, the little
Lunchables?
thing with the thingy around it. I forget what it's called. Like, that's
Eggs on a
not a
blanket?
sandwich, but that's like a snack, something you pop in your mouth. So, and then where do we stop with the meat being in the bread, calling
Well,
it a sandwich?
what's the definition of a sandwich? It's meat between two pieces of bread. That's kind of what a hot dog is. But to each their own. I like your answer because honestly, I don't think a hot dog is a sandwich either. Think of a hot dog, I think of going to an event And I used to go to wrestling events. I still go to wrestling events. And I used to love when they come out from behind the curtain when that theme song hits. So, my question to you is if you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what would that theme song be?
Just because it popped in my head, man. Just because it just popped in my head. I'm sexy and I know it. I don't know why that song just popped in my head when you said it. Going back to what you were saying about theme songs and I mean, and being at events and hot dogs and stuff, no matter how bad the hot dog is, when you're there, the hot dog is so good,
It
isn't it?
really is. Yeah, if you're not having a hot dog at home, it's the best hot dog ever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But speaking of like theme songs hitting and stuff like that, and you got to get to the event. If you're in your car, what song is it that you roll up the windows, turn the music up, and just blast it? What is your guilty pleasure car karaoke song?
That's hard, dude. I can't just pick one just because I break out into song all the time. I used to do it all the time earlier on the Mod Squad. I'm walking around the house, song pops in my head, I just start singing it. And in the car, it's even worse. Just because I can't think of anything, um, what's the song? What's the song? I can't even think of a song right now. Not one Prince song. The It would have to be "This Is How We Do It" Montel Jordan, just because it was around '95. That was high school years, and that's how we did it.
I like it, man. I like it. Speaking of being in the car, though, what's the farthest you've ever traveled from home for vacation?
Oh, for vacation, not for work. Because I've traveled for work more than I've traveled for vacation. No, I take that back. We've been to Vegas almost every year the past 30 years, two, three times a year. But Vegas isn't the furthest, it's the most places we've hit. I would have to say Louisiana for Mardi Gras.
Ooh.
There was so, I mean, dude, it's like getting from one part of the street to cross to the other part of the street. Literally crossing the street will take you about 20 minutes, dude. That you're just like this with people, and then there's bees flying, there's boobs up there, people pissing over here on the side of buildings. It's nuts,
Oh
man. But
yeah,
yeah,
I've
we
heard
went
Mardi
to
Gras is
Mardi
nuts.
Gras, and it was one of the best times I've ever had. So it would have to be though. That's the furthest, Louisiana.
I got you. Well, if that's the farthest you've ever traveled by miles, if you could travel 10 years to the past or 10 years to the future, only for 24 hours, which way would you go and why?
It would have to be the past,
Okay.
and 10 years is still missing my brother, but it would have to be to hang out with my buddy and my mom
And
one last time.
that's probably the best reason anybody could ever give, to tell you the truth. I love that answer. All right. This one's a little bit different. We're going to do a little color theory. How would you describe the color purple to a blind man?
I would say Prince. Just what you think Prince is, that's what the color purple is. Whatever you visualize Prince, that's the color purple. I would tell him.
I got you. All right. Well, what is the funniest thing to ever happen to you that you can legally talk about? Because we're in like a entertainment form of media doing the Mod Squad network. I just kind of want to know what the funniest thing is that you can talk about legally.
Funniest. So I think funny and then legal to be. There's two things that pop in my mind. When I forget what grade. I was like in maybe fifth grade, fourth grade. I was the rat. Was it a rat? I think I was the rat or the gopher in the Winnie the Pooh play. And I came out and laughed. I was supposed to laugh. We were
Hmm.
just supposed to come out and laugh at the way Winnie the Pooh was stuck in a hole or something. I forget. It was a long time ago. And I busted out laughing and like doing dances and stuff on stage, and the whole crowd busted out laughing, dude. I mean, like I was like, "Yeah, I did it," and that would to me, that would be the funniest as a kid, and that's just because
Right.
it popped in my head. Now, when we're done, I'll probably think of something else. As an adult, that's legal. All I'm gonna say is the last thing I remember doing was, and I was just talking to my buddy last week about this, because I'm like, I need a day like that. I'm like, I need a day like crawling to the air mattress and just flopping on it. I need one of those days right now, man. I told him last week. Because that was actually the Mardi Gras trip. It's legal, drinking's legal. So
Yeah,
hey,
drinking is legal as long as you're of age.
yeah, yes, I wasn't in fifth grade when that happened.
All right. Well, speaking of your buddy and stuff like that, if you were to poll family and friends, what would they say you're most known for?
Advice.
Advice?
I'm the youngest of 10, and I'm not gonna say all my brothers and sisters and this and that. I'm the youngest of 10, dude. Like the youngest. There's no one under me. And I got, my older brothers and sisters almost my whole life. Up
Hmm.
until recently, actually. But recently, my life's been upside down. Ooh, sounds like a Fresh Prince song. But they always came to me, dude. When it came to buying cars, when it came to just anything, they always came to me for that advice. And not friends so much, but more family. So if I have to say the poll in a few years back for my life prior, would have to be advice.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. I'm a comic book guy. I got Superman right behind me on the wall here. If you had superpowers, though, if you had superhuman powers, what would they be, and would you use them for good or evil?
So it's like one power here, or being like the
One power.
superhero, where it's like, oh, that's kind of hard. Well, I would use them for good,
Hmm.
but I would probably use them selfishly.
That's not for
So is
good
that
then.
evil? Is that evil? So if yeah, it's basically like someone came down. One thing I can do. One thing is probably be invisible, and everything I touch turns invisible. So I'll go invisible. Maybe walk out of a vault. I'm not
Hmm.
saying, but I'm saying, you know,
I
and
got it. I got you.
think of my future, my kids' future, is what I would do if I had superpowers.
I got you. I got you. Like I just said, I'm a comic book guy. I love that form of media. But what single piece of media, whether it be books, movie, or TV show, has had the most influence on who you are as a person today?
Do you mean like artists, particular songs, or just like the genre, the music, the
Yeah, whatever
movie?
whatever piece of media is out there. Yes.
I'm gonna say, as a teenager, the music I listened to helped shape me because going from Prince's song, thinking you're the shit, um, sexy motherfucker, come on, going to the Cranberries, learning about how shit's going down in other countries,
Hmm.
from just everything in the '90s era. Help the love songs, John B. I mean, come on, Pretty Girl.
Hmm.
So shape me to the person I am today. I would say
Right.
90s, and 80s probably a little bit of 80s. Got to when it comes to Prince, got to be 80s, but
I
basically
got.
music, I guess, helped.
All right. Well, you yourself, you are the co-host of the movie show here on the Mod Squad Network.
Yes, sir.
If your life was a movie, though, what would the title be, and who would play you?
And again, these are just like popping in my head. If I ever had a chance to think about it, it would be different.
Mm-hmm.
But just again, and the only person I think that slightly I look like that looks like me, I would have to say, you know what? I was gonna say George Lopez, but I'll go with Fluffy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fluffy. It's definitely fluffy.
So I would say Fluffy, and again, the life story of Felix.
The life story of Felix. I love it. I love it. When we're talking about movies, one of my favorite movies is Castaway, where he was
Okay.
stranded on a desert island. But if you were stranded on a desert island, what three items would you take with you and why?
And would I ever get off the island? Am I stranded there, or is just for a time being? Because
You're
that kind
stranded. You don't know if you're getting off or not.
of definitely Cujo.
Hmm.
Definitely Cujo. I mean, that's like hands down, no question.
Got to have something to eat, right?
Food? I wouldn't have said food if you didn't say nothing. And my trusty phone.
Well, yeah. At least for games and anything, because you may not have reception
Yeah,
on. Yeah, I got
yeah.
you.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole professor from Gilligan's Island and find a coconut and be able to charge my phone that way. You know, but it would be phone, way to charge it, Cujo, and food. Which honestly, I wouldn't have said food if you didn't say it, dude. I didn't even think of that.
Okay, no, no. If you could switch lives with someone for one day, anybody in the world, who would it be and why?
Again, just first thing pops in my head. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No one. I wouldn't want no one to take on the burden that I feel I have.
No, that's very fair. Very fair. The last couple of questions I have for you are: what are your 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year goals? Your personal goals.
Personal, like me,
Yeah,
myself, to stay alive would be a
that's a
big
good one.
one. But I know just to on like to be on the real for the mod squad to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year
Oh, please.
at the very least. Within 5 years, we have a whole ass network and like 20 people working under us doing the shows, and we're kind of just like the producers. Nah, yeah, I'll do this, do that, do that. And 5 year, hopefully, I'll pay off my house with the money we've made from the monetization of the Mod Squad.
All right,
It's just because I keep seeing this Mod Squad symbol right here. I know people would say, "Oh, life and something deeper and whatever," and this is just like what pops in my head right away.
and, and that's what these questions are all about. They're off the dome questions, and answers. They're off the dome answers. You don't really know what I'm asking at all, except for you do.
Yeah.
Um, and the last question I have for you in this style of questioning is if the world had your ear, if you were center stage to the world, what would your message be for the entire world?
It's 4:20 at my house right now. Just thought I'd throw that out there. That's not the message I would say to the
I
world.
was about to say that's a hell of a message.
Would it be quick, something like long-winded, or
No,
I'm just gonna go
the
with
world
quick?
has your ear, man. Let them know what you want.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Two wrongs don't make a right. That's
Take
fair.
that as you will.
That's fair. All right. The last thing I have is some rapid fire questions. Some this or that. Some rapid fire this or that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Android or Apple?
Android, definitely.
DC or Marvel?
Just because as a kid it was more DC, I would have to say DC.
Horror or geek?
Both of these are like right there, dude. I don't think I can.
Yep.
If I had to pick, just because my kids and me have like horror movie type
Hmm.
connections, horror movies, horror.
Summer or winter?
I live in Arizona, man. It's got to be winter. It's got to be winter.
Night or day?
I only think of you on two occasions. That's day and night. That's that whole song thing. I'm sorry. Who sings that song?
I
Is it
have no idea.
Babyface?
I have no
Two
idea.
occasions. See, I used to be. I would have to say day. I love my
Okay.
sleep now as an older person. It's got to be day. I sleep at night.
Wings or ribs?
That's kind of easy for me. It's got to be wings because I
Wings.
like ribs. Love me some ribs, but I didn't grow up. I didn't have my first wing until about 7 years ago. I shit you not.
Ooh. Board games or card
So,
games?
see, going to Vegas, man, blackjack's my game. Going to Vegas, it's cards,
Cards.
it's all that. But here at home, though, dude, it's board games. I mean, that's what me and the boys
Board
play
games?
at home. It's board games. So I would, if I had to pick, my kids are having fun in Vegas, I'll go board games at home.
All right. Xbox or PlayStation?
That's easy. PlayStation.
Chess or
Xbox.
checkers?
Can't stand that control. Chess. I love chess. I taught my kid when he was like 5 years old how to play chess, and me and him used to play all the time.
And the last question of the day, soft or hard tacos?
You cheated because I know that's not a question on there. It had to be hard. Who likes soft tacos? That's just a burrito. You just hard.
Hard. All right, guys. That is the interview with Felix. My man, do you have anything coming up that you would like to promote?
See the Mod Squad lives every Saturday with a giveaway. We got Movie Talk Monday on Mondays. We have horror shows dropping on Wednesdays, Gamer on Thursdays. We're going to start the conversations probably Friday.
Yep.
And we got something for that Tuesday day. Maybe this shirt might be a hint. I'm not saying it is,
Not
but
saying,
who
but you're saying.
knows?
All right, guys. That does it for this episode of Conversations with the Mod Squad. So for Felix, I am Kevin saying, thank you for being a friend.